introduction. As it was already said, my name is Alex Page. I am the CEO of Nillion. And at Nillion, we have spent the last 3 years focusing on how we can use new cryptographic primitives and new cryptographic technology to enable private data and private storage in Web3. How can we use cryptography as a way to increase the design space for developers and the applications that they're building on chain. And this has culminated in the creation of what we call humanity's first blind computer. And to give you a clue of what I mean about blind computer, let's start with Ethereum. Ethereum introduced the first decentralized computer. By adding smart contracts on top of blockchain, they implemented something that allowed for compute to happen in a decentralized way. And this is what has led to the huge ecosystem that we're all a part of today. Our ability to build applications, our ability to use data, our ability to interact with apps on chain is all because of smart contracts that exist on top of blockchains. And we see the future as, how do we expand this space? How do we increase the design space for developers? And when you think about the blind computer, we're doing something very similar with decentralized architecture, where we're building a compute network that's not a blockchain like Ethereum is, but our compute network allows users and developers to take any type of data, put it onto a decentralized network, and those nodes can run computation on that data, but they do it blindly, meaning that they can't see the input data and they can't see the result of that computation. All the nodes on the network know is that they've done some sort of computation. And this means that you now have a way to go from on-chain into a network that can run private compute, that can store data privately, and then go back onto the chain, which opens up the potential for using private data in all kinds of use cases. So when you think about all of the places that we use private data currently, think about how many places and how many applications you interact with right now outside of crypto that require some kind of private data. This is a massive part of expanding the ecosystem and the potential of what we can do in Web3. We need to be able to take something that is native to Web2, which is being able to use private data, be able to compute in a private way, and bring that into the Web3 world. And that's exactly what we're doing with the blind computer at Nillion. This opens up a completely new design space for developers, where now they can build on-chain applications, but now they can incorporate private data. When you bring on-chain applications and you bring private data together, what you get is a completely new space to build with things that you could create in Web 2, but could be even better in Web 3. You get to bring those into our ecosystem and to build them on-chain. And this is exactly what we've been seeing. 2 months ago, we launched our testnet and started deploying proof of concept applications with our ecosystem partners. And we're ending up going into a bunch of new verticals that we haven't really seen as much of in Web3. We started in AI, specifically around privacy AI. We have several projects that are building with privacy-preserving inference right now. We have healthcare data. This has been a really interesting one that has come over from the Web 2 side of things. How can we collaborate on healthcare data, something that's highly sensitive that we need to keep secure? We can use Nillion Network as a way to bring that data together and run useful computation on it. We've seen on-chain gaming, data sharing, social systems, and access control has been a big one as well. When we think about the roadblocks that was actually mentioned on one of the panels here, it has been, how can we remove, say, private keys and seed phrases as the access point? How can we use other authentication methods? Well, with Nillion, we can build decentralized authentication methods that are also privacy preserving. So taking a look inside of the blind computer, we use several different types of cryptographic primitives. We call them privacy enhancing technology, or PETs, and they all integrate into the PETnet layer. Now, this PETnet layer is actually chain agnostic, which means that a developer from Solana or Ton or ETH can go and interact with the blind computer and get results back while staying in their ecosystem. They can reconstruct that information on their own chain, so they don't have to worry about coming onto Nillion's coordination layer to interact with our network. They can do it and build apps in their own ecosystem in a language that they know. And we've just recently released our JavaScript client and our Python client to allow developers to start building with our testnet right now. And we have 28 different projects that are building on Nillion right now. Starting over with AI, we've recently partnered with Ritual and Rainfall to be building privacy-preserving AI. We're connecting to their networks to be able to do their AI use cases, do AI inference inside of Nillion in a privacy-preserving way. We have been working with DeepIn projects, healthcare projects, infrastructure. There's just so many different areas that become available once we start thinking about how we can use private data inside of Web3. But it's not just about the partners and it's just not about the applications. We want you to be a part of what we are building at Nillion. And so we're going to be launching what we call our network interface, which allows you as a user to come onto Nillion, interact with the network, store secrets, and importantly, help us build a more secure network by being a validator of secrets that are on the network. And this is a real opportunity for early users to come onto our testnet, participate in what we're building, and be rewarded for being a part of what we are building at Nillion. So if you're interested in what we're doing or interested in our launch announcement on the network interface, you can follow us on Twitter at Nillion Network, or if you're a developer and interested in our documentation, you can go to nillion.com and check out all of the deep documentation there, learn more about the blind computer, and learn more about what we're creating in Web3 at Nillion. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. Very interesting. Thank you for sharing.